Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jonathan from Legnano near Milan, Italy, and I'm happy to illustrate to you our project about the child revision of lumbar spine disc pathology. Many thanks to the organization to invite me for this presentation. I have nothing to disclose regarding this topic and in general regarding this meeting. So, talking about nomenclature in lumbar disc pathology, we have to start from the beginning with an age very far away in the time when it was only one language in the whole globe. But that meant that mankind built something wrong, and a very important person did be so happy about it. So now we have many languages and many ways to describe findings. Like in this case, please look at 5S1 disk. What could be this situation, this clinical finding, this imaging finding, an extrusion, protrusion, or to the herniation? How is the clinical history of this patient? Full clinical details helps for the diagnosis. And imagine if this patient is your wife, how to explain this finding in a rigorous way, trying to be positive. So there was many attempts to create a standardization in lumbar spine disc pathology, and in 2001 we found a wonderful job. The combined task forces of North American Spine Society, American Society of Spine Radiology, and American Society of Neuroradiology that published this statement about definition and nomenclature. This pathology, we finally have a guideline for reports. We have a general classification of these lesions. We have how to describe a herniation or broad-based herniation. You can easily download this paper just shooting with your mobile phone the QR code here in the QR in the bottom right corner of this slide. There some years, there was the need to update the previous statement. So the same path force that I remind you, combined by North American Spine Society, American Society of Spine Radiology, and Society of Neuroradiology, we published this second version of this statement, lumbar disc nomenclature version 2.0, recommendation by the common sources, NASS, ASSR, and ESNR. The number of the authors increased because they started the job. As for the previous paper, you can get the paper simply shooting the QR code in the bottom. Thank you, Stephen Tigges, for this suggestion. So this time over simple definition of pathology. So this exclusion, this exclusion, these authors expanded their job with a wonderful part of this paper, the glossary. 8 pages full of words that we should use and we should not use. I found this part very, very useful, and also many of us agree with me. So I really appreciated this wonderful job, these forces, but this year we still have some discussion points. First of all, we have to decide how to integrate all the findings in a structured way. Many papers highlighted how it will be useful both for clinical and scientific process, the implementation of structured report with specific and unique terms, um, saying CDE, virtually viewing when the Gibbs raised the hand in the room. Furthermore, it could be crucial also for the development of artificial intelligence. Second point, uh, the current nomenclature version doesn't select a specific classification of these alterations to use. In glossary, they talked about Symptom and Spearman classification without precedence. We think it's important to assess what is the best choice. And yeah, because another point is that, especially for Spearman classification, we are talking about the classification created for scientific purposes, not clinically. Um, so it could be used to highlight this point. Right? It's more and more important to collect the clinical information in a way. Both we highlight the standardization beyond the disk, integrate technology to all disks unit. Last but not least, and of course, collaboration between America and EU. So, describing this working group, here's a world map centered to ocean, and talking about the American coast, we have as a representative American Society of Neuroradiology and American Society of Radiology. On the European side, we have European Society of Musculoskeletal Radiology and European Society of Neuroradiology. Talking about the people, this is our roster. American side, Michelle Johnson, Bob Desha, Gordon Zeh, who is also involved in the previous 2.0 statement. Dan Nguyen, Peter Franz, and Dr. here. For the European side, we have Jon Gut, Philip Panoneker, PD, Luigi Montana, and myself, General. We planned to have a first meeting during the previous ASSR meeting as for the motivation that all of we know it wasn't possible. So as many people and many society done in this period, we had 3 meetings in a virtual way with a briefing last week prior to start this American Society of Spine Radiology meeting. For the one of the first point we discussed is to create a separate discussion about cervical disc pathology, because we think it could be very useful to have a standardization also for the cervical spine in the same way of lumbar spine disc nomenclature. And we work on it only ending 3.0. Furthermore, we discussed if it could be talking about the disc alterations classification, it could be better to create a brand new classification, easier to remember, easier to apply, clinically validated. We are working on it. We're very specific. This. Also, we highlighted the role clinical information given by patient and or referring physician, and we are working on a suggested questionnaire to be proposed to all of you. To enforce this point, I found very useful this accepted manuscript on American Journal of Radiology that highlighted what we think that the patient-reported symptom information from a brief questionnaire can be correlated with MRI finding to distinguish presumptive pain generated from incidental abnormalities. As in the previous papers, you can download this accepted manuscript just shooting with your mobile phone. This the QR code on the bottom right for going on. We also highly suggest to use MODI classification always. There is no more time to say yes, you can use it. In this time you can use it. We will use MODI classification always because it's useful, is clinical relevant, and this is an information we have to do. Going on, we will propose a minimum standard study protocol because we can perform a wonderful, we can report perfect way. We can use CD, we can use natural language, we can stay into a template, perfect. If we have a not perfect exam, all our organization is useless. So we will propose minimum study protocol that could be useful that could use as schedule. We will propose a structured report template with suggestions, and finally we will when our job is done, we will involve other specialties to integrate their needs. But for the moment, currently, we prefer to work only between radiologists and neurologists. Also, as you know, as you can imagine, currently we are in a very early version of this working group. So we open to discuss and integrate other ideas, concepts, other people without problem. Please feel free to write me my email, or you can call me on Twitter. Please write to me to gennaro.tam@gmail.com. And for now, I included my presentation. And thank you for your attention, and I'm very ready to answer to all your questions in the question and answer session. See you. Hope to see you very soon in an in-person meeting.